The moon rock that they were giving out to a bunch of countries turned out to be petrified wood. The face of the earth. A ball doesn't have a face.
Or
What's
the four
the face?
corners. Gravity's got to be a woman.
She's very selective.
Switch. So there's this one. And we can show like
Yeah.
on the others. But and then there's this one.
But when you start looking at it as an adult, it all falls apart.
Today we're going to be talking about flat Earth.
Ooh, it's actually my favorite topic.
Mine too.
Our tinfoil hats are really high today.
I know, we should have made some.
We really should have. It would have been great.
I feel like, though, a lot of people are kind of like jumping on this like idea that like the Earth could possibly be flat.
I think the deception is kind of falling apart for sure. I mean,
it's unraveling.
You know, I don't claim to know exactly the shape, structure of the Earth unless I've been high enough to see it myself. But I am very convinced that we are not on a spinning ball hurtling through space.
Right.
So,
I mean, and I love that like the numbers, I think they've changed them now, but I have a friend who did the research on it and everything came down to like 666.
oh yeah, here.
Like 66,600. I think now it says 67. I think they rounded
They
it
rounded it up to 67. So now they're saying that we're orbiting the sun at 67,000 miles per hour. Used to be 66,000 miles per hour. But the sun is still dragging us at 600,000 miles per hour. You know, it's like,
interesting.
For anyone that's looked into, you know, the cabal, the rulers, the Illuminati, whatever you want to call them, they put their fingerprints all over everything.
Oh, yeah.
Every deception has their symbols, their numbers. And this topic is just the same. That they leave their fingerprint all over it with all of their, you know, symbology and everything. And like you're saying, like all the 666, like that's interesting.
It is interesting. And I think like the whole point is to disprove the Bible, disprove the word of God, disprove what God has said. And so it's so fascinating. Like they study the Bible so hard just so that they can like disprove it.
Yeah.
You know? And I think once you like read the Bible and you start seeing things like through a new lens of like, okay, well, like, let's just, in the beginning, I was like, okay, well, let's just hypothetically say that the earth is flat. You know, I wasn't sure if I believed it. I was kind of like, is it? I don't know. Like, but even the Bible, like, talks about it. Like, biblical cosmology talks about the earth. And I think people think of, like, when you say flat, like, it's just a pancake, you know, and then, like, what? The water's, like, running off
Well,
the
that's what
edges.
they would tell you. Like, oh, you would just sail off the edge of the earth. Like, oh, like, you're so dumb. Like, how could you think that? That's because that's not that either. It's not just like the globe flattened out and then,
Right.
So we can get into, I think starting with the biblical side of things is a great place to start.
Yeah.
So this might be a little lengthy, but I'm just going to read some of Genesis 1.
Yeah, go for it.
And then we'll go from there. Okay. So in the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. Now the earth was formless and empty. Darkness was over the surface of the deep, and the Spirit of God was hovering over the waters. And God said, "Let there be light." And there was light. God saw that the light was good, and he separated the light from the darkness. God called the light day, and the darkness he called night. And there was evening, and there was morning the first day. And God said, "Let there be a vault between the waters to separate water from water." So God made the vault and separated the water under the vault from the water above it. And it was so. God called the vault sky, and there was evening, and there was morning the second day. And then he goes on to talk about how he had dry land appear. Well, what's interesting about the word vault is in the Hebrew, I believe the word is rakia, which means something that's hard and has been hammered out. And it's like a molten looking glass. So like glass. So that the firmament is another word for it.
Okay.
But the actual Hebrew word is rakia, which is a solid glass material. And that's what
Interesting.
is believed to be.
Okay, that's super fascinating because I recently saw someone took a, like literally like what you're saying, it's like a glass, like half of a sphere and put it on top of like, just like the table. they turned the lights off, took a flashlight and shined it through. And you could see that as you were shining it through and like walking around the table with the, half sphere of glass on it, how it created night and day. It instantly, because of the shape of the sphere, it created
the way it illuminated the light.
It created like half of it was darkened just based on like how the light was refracting through that sphere. So it's so interesting because we've always been taught like, oh, like this is the earth and the part that the sun's hitting, this is day and then this is night on the backside. And so that like completely just shed light on a new way of like, well, this is another way that light can be created to do night and day.
Oh, absolutely.
So that was fascinating.
Well, I think, when you originally hear, well, first of all, when you first hear flat earth, I mean, it's like an insult to say you're a flat earther. That's just saying you're dumb, you don't know anything, you're crazy, whatever, right? And we were raised in the school system. From a baby, we were told we lived on a spinning ball. We believed everything that most people believe about, being in a heliocentric model, which is us rotating around the sun. Never questioned it.
Right.
Anyone that did question it was crazy. And then, people back then that thought the world was flat were, they didn't know anything. Like, what did they know? Like, that was like our perception, right? But, when this whole idea came to me, it started with the moon landing and realizing that was fake. And then once I heard that this was an actual like thing people still today believe, I was like, really? I was intrigued. I wasn't turned off. I wasn't, like, oh, like how can people believe that? That's so weird. I was literally just so intrigued. And so I got obsessed with researching this. And it did not take me long to realize that we've been lied to.
Right.
Not long.
Once you really study it, even their own math disproves it, like the curvature of the earth.
I know. Like
what is it?
Get into
8 inches
per mile squared.
And there's a formula for it, which you can like plug it in yourself. But even that disproves like the distance that we can actually see with our own 2 eyeballs. So it's like their own math is like disproving what they've told us.
And that's all it is. It's like, even as a kid, remember asking like, oh, people in Australia, they're upside down from us. How do they stay on? And then the answer would always be gravity.
Right.
Which is still a theory, by the way.
It is.
It's a theory of gravity. But it was like the magical force that just held everything together, keeps all the ocean stuck to a spinning ball.
Butterfly can like take off and it's super light. But then you also have the opposite spectrum of a plane that can take off and it weighs like a lot of it's heavy.
So it's like gravity is so strong, it holds the waters to the earth spinning ball, but yet we could defy it every day. So
a balloon can defy
it's very selective about what it wants to hold to the earth. Because a butterfly, or I could jump up off the ground and I'm fine. And just like we'll get into more like how the spin and everything with the Coriolis effect, if that's what it's called, right? Having to account for the earth spinning. Well, they'll say there's certain people that have to take that into account, like a sniper, but then pilots don't have to take it into account.
Or
so it's
missile launching.
Yeah, so it's like very selective. I'm like, okay, so it doesn't make sense, right?
Yeah.
And that's the thing, like when you're a kid, you just believe it blindly, of course, because it's what everyone believes, and you're shown images, right? But when you start looking at it as an adult, it all falls apart. It's like you can look at it critically and use your own senses.
Right.
It takes more faith to believe that we are on a spinning ball going 1,000 miles per hour at the equator.
Right.
Rotating around the sun at what? Did I say 67,000 miles per hour?
66,600, if you want to be specific.
Yes, 666. Then the sun is hurtling us like and all the other planets at like, was it 660,000?
It's like isn't it like 500,000 miles per hour?
It's over that. It's more than that. I just read it. I was like 600,000 miles per hour, I think.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And think of all that motion that's happening. But what do your senses tell you? Well, like, do you ever feel, I remember like asking that as a kid, like, why don't I feel like I'm spinning? And they would say, oh, because you're spinning so fast, you can't feel it. And I'm like,
that doesn't make sense.
Okay.
Yeah, you get on a like whirly, like a twirly, like spinny ride.
You spin me on anything, I'm freaking gonna feel it.
Yeah. I mean, and not only that, but like I think it's wild because I remember being in like, I don't know, 2nd grade or 3rd grade, and we were learning about centrifugal force. So they filled the bucket up and they literally were spinning it, and they're like, look how the water stays in there. And if you think about that, the water, because of like the spinning motion, it's literally being pushed into the bucket. So yes, it's not falling out on top of your head. But think of like a washing machine or a salad spinner. When you have that centrifugal force, it's to get the water off.
Well, take a
right. So why aren't the oceans like?
Imagine taking a wet tennis ball, soaking it in water, right, and throwing it. All the water goes to the center and spins off the center of the ball.
Right. That too. Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Like if you're spinning and there's water on it, it's going to fly off. But then gravity, that is the word they use for every logical question you have. It's like, oh, but gravity. Like, yeah. So I think it's just an easy way to...
We'll have to do another pod on gravity because that's a whole other, like, that's a whole other, like, thing that we could talk about.
Oh, totally. But I just think it's so funny. That's always the... you know,
always
the easy way out.
Oh, yeah.
You know, so it's gravity.
Okay.
Yeah, okay. And that's what you say as a kid. Well, you look into this now and you're like, wait a second. First of all, let's start with the Bible. Like, the Bible says the earth is an immovable structure.
Yeah.
And I think even, well, I know, God describes the earth as like taking a wax and putting a seal on it, which is like, you know, what kings used to wear, the seal, the ring.
Oh, yeah.
And then it creates a flat disc with like an upturned edge.
Okay.
And then God describes the earth that way as well.
Okay.
He also describes it as his footstool, that he sits above the earth, and this is footstool.
Right.
You know, the face of the earth. A ball doesn't have a face.
Or
what's
the four
the face?
corners of
or the four
earth.
corners of the earth. Like, why is the Bible constantly describing something so different? Right? And like you said in the beginning, you know, it's part of a great deception. You know, I think it's just part of Satan's way of making us feel insignificant. Where, first of all, without the globe, there's no Big Bang.
Right.
Without the Big Bang, there's no evolution.
Right.
Right? So they need the globe.
No evolution, there's no, like, you're insignificant.
Exactly. They want us to feel insignificant. Like we're just, you know, a random accident came out of nothing, and we're on a spinning speck of dust in an ever-expanding universe.
Right.
You know, it's to erase God. And,
yeah, it is. It totally is. But also just, like, going back to, like, the circling. Like, why is it then that, like, the stars never change? Like, you can backtrack the stars never sit. Like, you can, like, take a camera, and if you shoot it, like, at the North Star, it'll, like, actually, like, show the stars are, like, spinning around the North Star.
Yeah.
Polaris.
So Polaris, the North Star, it's always in the center, right? They say it moves around a tiny circle on its own, but, like, you could barely see it. So if you take a long exposure camera and you shoot it straight up, like what you're saying, at Polaris, all the other stars create perfect star trails
around it.
So when they'll tell you, oh, well, we're spinning. Okay. Okay, that makes sense. Like,
but then the stars would have to be moving at the same exact speed as the Earth is being pulled by the sun.
Here's the thing. Exactly. Yeah. Again, we're spinning at 1,000 miles per hour. We're rotating around the sun. And then the sun is also pulling us through space all at the same time. The slowest motion in all of that mix is the Earth moving, right? The stars would be doing all sorts of things.
Right. We would never have the same stars.
They're perfect star trails. Perfect. And it's been that way since the beginning of time. It's documented as always the same. If we were flying through space at 600,000 miles per hour for how many? And then they say we've been around for what? Billions of years, millions of years now. I don't know. I feel like they throw out random numbers all the time.
Yeah.
We would see different things in the sky all the time.
Right.
Why has it always been the same?
Yeah. We wouldn't see the same constellations night after night, year after year. And the best way I heard it explained was that the moon and the stars, I wrote it down. The moon, okay, so the sun tells the time of the day, the moon tells the time of the month, and the stars tell the time of the year.
It's true.
And it really is true.
It's a giant clock. So when people also, you know, you mentioned the Earth is flat, they still don't understand that, you know, in their mind, they're thinking, okay, the sun is still 93 million miles away. The moon is still a quarter of a million miles away. But no, God said in the Bible, he put the sun and the moon inside the firmament. So they're small and they're close.
Yeah, I think the verse, I wrote that one down too, because I thought that was so fascinating when I was like really kind of digging into this. But it talks about how it's Psalms 19 verse 4. It says, in the heavens, God has pitched a tent for the moon and for the sun, sorry. So that like tells me that like it's not
we're in an enclosed system and they're inside. And one of the ways you can see this with your own eyes is, have you ever seen, and I know we all have, when the sun rays are coming through clouds and they go outward, right? They create like a triangle.
Right.
Well, that's impossible if the sun is 93 million miles away. If the light source is that far away, all the sun rays would always come parallel. So you could almost calculate how close the sun is. And people have done this, and I forget what they say, but it's pretty close.
Yeah.
But if you look at the clouds, sun rays coming out, you can kind of like draw a triangle and see where the sun is. Like, it would be impossible for it to create light going this way.
Well, and also I think it's super interesting that you have like those Gnostic like religions, like Freemasons and stuff like that. And they even show in their drawings and in their books that like the sun and the moon are local and they're like close to the same
People
size.
believed it forever until more recently, right? Like the Hebrew cosmology, they have Earth, they have the firmament dome, they have the sun, moon, and stars inside of it. There's waters above the dome, which I just read in the beginning, and there's waters below, and then Sheol, which is Middle Earth, below Earth. That's what they believe forever.
Right.
And it actually makes way more sense. Like, I'm telling you, like, I really feel like believing that we're on a spinning ball hurtling through space takes more faith.
Right.
Because it's not what you experience.
Well, and I think it's like also just saying that what you experience with your eyes and your own senses is like wrong.
Well, they teach us to never trust our own senses. Like, no, we know we're the experts. Here's our calculations. Here's our images.
And all our numbers just come out to 666.
Exactly. Their fingerprints everywhere. It's like, okay.
I know.
I mean, let's like NASA. I mean, I think most people believe, and I did too. Again, I used to believe we were on a globe. Most people believe it's because we were shown images.
Right.
And we trust NASA. But then you start going into NASA and seeing how deceptive that is.
Oh,
I mean, do you know it was started by Nazis that came over from Germany?
I believe it.
And
it wouldn't surprise me.
And the whole heliocentric model that we all believe was made by Jesuit priests as well, and Freemasons.
Okay.
So just like look into who really started pushing this.
I got to show you this really fast.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to show you two images and you tell me which one is which. So there's this one and we can show like on the audience, but and then there's this one. So we have this one and this one. So we have it in white and we have it in black.
Yeah.
Which one is the real one?
What's it of?
It's of Uranus.
It's hilarious. I don't know the black one.
The black one. Okay, well, you guessed right.
Okay.
So this is like NASA's actual picture that they have like on their website of what Uranus looks like. And this is of a ping pong ball.
I almost said ping pong ball. Yeah. They look identical.
They look identical.
It's just a different background.
Yeah, identical. I should maybe like change the background on this and say like just chat GPT it and be like, add a black background to this.
Yeah.
I'm like, it's funny because they spent all their time editing Jupiter and Mars that they
just a ping pong
severely
ball,
neglected Uranus and just was like, here you go.
Can we just talk about that name for a second? It's hilarious.
When we went to the planetarium, I think she called it Uranus. And I was like, have I been pronouncing it wrong all my life?
That doesn't sound great either, though. Like, no way you pronounce it.
I know. There's no good way to say it.
I don't think so. That's hilarious. But no, okay, so talking about their images, like so photoshopped. In fact, one of the photos from I think the Apollo, I don't know which mission, but it was a moon shot, like from the moon, and it was of the Earth, and the Earth's kind of like
a half.
It's almost like half shape.
Yeah.
So people have taken it into Photoshop, the real NASA photo.
Okay.
They bring down all the saturation levels, and then you could see, and I've seen this, a rectangle box around the Earth where they pasted the image in.
Ew.
You could see it. It's just full on fake.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Ugh.
So like one of the main reasons why we believe the Earth is what it is because of these images. But what if all the images are fake and you can prove that?
Yeah.
Then what?
Well, it's funny because it's like Mars. Was it Mars that has no atmosphere or Mars has an atmosphere?
I have no idea.
I remember we saw an image of Mars, so I could be completely wrong on this, but I remember just when we were at the planetarium, it had clouds in the sky, and I was like, oh, that's interesting. I was like, those almost look like chemtrails because they were just like little skinny
interesting
clouds. No.
I don't know, but like how easy would it be just to create these images on a software program?
Obviously not that
It's
hard.
very easy. Take a ping pong ball, take a photo of it, throw a black background.
Did you see how that slice of salami was going around and they were saying it was a star? And then like the scientist came out and was like, he apologized for it. And then people started posting pictures of like hot dogs chopped up. And we're like,
I think I do remember this
new star.
Oh my gosh. Okay, well, let's talk about stars a little more.
Yeah.
So, we're told stars are like suns, right?
Yeah.
Which is farther away. But
like
if you take a
ball of fire.
Yeah, it's like a burning ball of fire. But if you take a telescope and you zoom in, or even high-powered zoom camera,
which they don't
look
anymore.
anything like that.
No.
They look like they're incredible. They look like light frequencies. They kind of look like they could be underwater, or they're just moving in frequencies. Different colors, not a solid surface. They're literal lights.
Yeah.
And I always thought it was interesting that you could see them twinkle. And I remember asking this years ago. And I remember asking someone, why does it twinkle? And they said, oh, it's something about the light travel, like the speed of light going in and out. And I was like, oh, okay. But like, no, when you zoom in on them, they're moving around and fluctuating in colors. They're like very active. They almost seem electrical to me.
Yeah.
They look, and their different stars have a little bit different properties, you know? Like, I think it was Sirius that's got more of like, kind of looks like more a bunch of rings that come out of it. And other ones look more spiky. And but it's nothing like the sun.
No. Well, and also, can we just like pause for a second on the fact that we can zoom in on it with our own telescopes, our own cameras, which I think it was like the Nikon, was it the
P900 or something?
Which I don't think they make anymore. They discontinued.
They did, because people were using it for this.
And they like went into an agreement with NASA or something about...
They got rid of the cameras that were disproving NASA from the market.
Yes. So
that's so crazy.
The fact that we can zoom in though with that, like, tells me that it can't be that far away.
Oh yeah.
That's impossible.
Yeah, it is.
Like, just logically, that's impossible. Even like so my husband has a Samsung Galaxy phone, and he will forever say that like Samsung's better than iPhone. But
it's a very polarizing subject. We won't talk about that.
It's very divisive. But even his camera, I will say the cameras on the Samsungs are better than the iPhone cameras, I think.
Probably.
But he can like zoom in super close to the moon and like see like with great detail, like especially when it's full.
Yeah.
So again, like the fact that his little
250,000-mile zoom,
like his phone camera can do that, like that's
like it just, to me, it's just like a logical, conclusion that, hey, I think it's a lot closer. So, yeah, I mean, people do experiments like that all the time. Like, one of my favorite experiments people have done, because I used to think, because I was told, again, like, I believed everything I believed because someone told me to believe it, right? When I saw, and I grew up on the beach, you see a boat go over the horizon and went over the curve.
Oh, yeah.
And that's what I thought. But no, if you take a telescope, binoculars, high-powered camera zoom, you bring the whole boat back up, no matter how it goes super far. And you could bring up the whole thing, the whole boat, so it didn't go over a curve. It just went out of your vision. I think they say we can only see 3 miles, and our how our perspective works is top comes down, bottom comes up, sides go in. So you lose sight of it just because of your vision. But then you get binoculars. I see the boat again. Goes too far. Pull out a telescope. I could pull up the whole boat again. Pull up your, whatever's more high powered than that, but you could keep pulling it up for incredible distance.
Well, and also even think about like mountain ranges. Like, I mean, I get that they're bigger, so you don't lose it as much, but it's like you can clearly see mountain ranges for more than 3 miles away.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, so, I don't know why they say 3 miles.
Maybe it's just like on a flat, like horizon.
Maybe that's what it is.
Horizon. But like.
But if you're up high, then you can see farther. That actually makes sense because you're up high.
So we were watching this, like, I saw this video and we were talking about it of like how if you're standing like on the shore, and I think it was like in France somewhere, and it was 150 feet or 160 feet, somewhere around that. I don't know the exact numbers. I don't remember, but away. Basically based on the curvature of the earth, like that. Formula, you should not be able to see the mountain range that was 150 feet away.
Yeah.
So
how do they explain? And then they know what they'll say. Oh, it's refraction of light. It's a mirage. You're not really seeing what you're seeing. Like the really popular photo that came out of the guy taking the photo of the Chicago skyline.
Oh, yes.
Skyline. And he was
Lake Michigan?
Lake Michigan.
Yeah.
And according to the curvature calculations that they give us, the skyscrapers would have been well below the curve. Well, it got so popular and people were talking about it, the news had to cover it, and you watch the news anchor try to explain it away, and he's showing it on his big screen of this photo of the skyline. Like, from the bottom to top, you're seeing the skyline. And he goes, you would not normally be able to see this, but this is a mirage. He said mirage.
Exact replica.
Like, that's not how mirages work.
Yeah.
And people, there has to be perfect atmospheric conditions for mirages to even appear. And yet people can get that shot in all different seasons, weather conditions. It's, how do you explain that?
Aren't mirages like typically something you see in the desert when it's really hot?
I think so. I mean, typically, but I don't know if it has to be hot, but that's what I always think of.
That's mirage.
As like
desert.
Where it looks like you can see water. but it's just a mirage. So it's like, okay, people are proving this stuff all the time.
Mhm.
There's a salt flat, I think it's in Bolivia, and it's like 100 miles wide, and it's perfectly flat for 100 miles. Curved ball, according to their, either the earth is way, way, way bigger than they say, or it's flat, because it's for 100 miles, it's flat. It would be a massive curve. You talk about get into airlines.
Oh, yeah.
Think about airplanes. Like, they don't have to account for a curve. I mean, what I heard is that the gyroscopes, which is what keeps them level to the ground, that they use in planes are just mechanical. So if it was really a ball, the gyroscope would start rolling that back, and the pilot would have to compensate and go down every, I don't know, mile or so, like make sure, otherwise we're going to fly off into space. Yeah. Right? So there's that. And then also,
because here's the ball and you're literally just like,
if we're independent of the atmosphere or the whatever, gravity, whatever. Yeah, you just keep going. You have to make sure you're going around the ball. Also, imagine trying to land a plane on a runway that's moving. Like, depending on which direction you're going, like if the ball Earth is spinning 1,000 miles an hour, that's at the equator. It's a little bit slower at the poles, but still you're spinning fast. Right. If you're going with the spin, it would take forever to get there. But then if you're going against the spin, then you get somewhere faster. And then if you're trying to land, like, imagine this is the runway, and I'm a pilot, and like the Earth is, say I'm at the equator, and it's 1,000 miles an hour, and this is moving at 1,000 miles an hour, and I have to try to land on that. Right. Like, make it make sense. Like, think about that.
Not only that, but like, if you're flying opposite of the way the Earth is spinning, you technically would never be able to ever reach your destination.
If you're flying with the spin.
No, opposite. Like, let's say like the Earth's spinning this way and you're trying to go the opposite way, like, you would technically never be able to get to
No, because it would catch up with you, wouldn't it? Because your destination would be going towards you, so you get there really fast. But if you're going with the spin, exactly.
You're not flying 1,000 miles per
hour.
How
fast do
I guess you just kind of like hover until it catches up to where you need to land, and you're like, oh, it's coming up, hurry.
There's a woman, I think it was in the 1930s or something, but she did an experiment where she took a blimp and she stayed in one spot for a long, long, long time. And according to their spinning of the Earth, New York should have been in view in 4 to 5 hours, and she never even left the city she was in.
Yeah, interesting.
I'm like,
I'm sure they have a reason for that, though. Gravity.
But then snipers have to go through great lengths of calculations to calculate the Coriolis effect when they're aiming a 2-mile shot. It's like, but they don't. They take into account wind.
Like when they shoot like missiles.
Yeah.
They don't take into account the curvature of the Earth.
No, they don't. Or the spinning or the curve or whatever. It's like, no, they don't.
It's just from here to here. Yeah.
And then also, like, flight paths are very interesting, too.
Yeah.
They say, like, there's certain flight paths, like, there's one in particular where there was a woman who was flying from the Philippines, I believe, to LAX in Los Angeles. And her water broke mid-flight.
Okay.
And they ended up having to make an emergency landing in Alaska. Which, if you look at the globe model, Alaska is way up here.
Yeah.
They were nowhere near it.
Did they fly over the North Pole?
Well, no, that's another thing. You can't fly directly over it. So you would either keep going to LA, or you would turn around and go back to the Philippines. But if you put that on that same flight path on a flat Earth map, like, they would have been going right over Alaska. So weird.
It is weird.
Yeah.
But it makes sense that way if you look at that. So I think it's interesting. I did buy a digital download of a flat Earth map. Did I send that to you? I'll have to send it to you. Because I'm just like so fascinated. I just want to like study it and just kind of see like what else is making sense in this.
Right. And I don't know which model's correct either. So it's like you have to kind of take all of those maps with a grain of salt, right? But it does make sense. So I think the model that's most popular that makes the most sense to me, I'm not saying this is exactly true because I don't know, but is the one where, you have the North Pole in the center of the Earth. All the continents, oceans, everything around it.
They're kind of like laid out, like kind of fanned out around.
Kind of fanned out. And then the Antarctica is really a giant ring of ice.
Around all the continents.
A big giant cliff of ice.
Right.
That holds all the ocean in.
Okay.
And then at some point, I assume the firmament, the dome, lands somewhere out in Antarctica, which we should get into that.
Well, yeah. I mean, I saw like rainbows. So like the closer you are, like the rainbow's arch goes from really wide to like really like narrow, like, tall and skinny. Like they almost get flatter based on where like you're seeing the
interesting.
rainbow. Yeah.
Huh.
So like, I can't remember where it was.
I drove through one once.
Oh, through a rainbow?
I literally drove through it. It landed on the 5 freeway in California. I remember seeing this rainbow and being like, oh my God, am I going to like drive through it? Because I could tell it was so close and it was on the freeway.
Oh, that's so crazy.
Like saw the bottom of the rainbow.
Wow.
There's no gold.
Dang it.
But I was like, this is so cool.
I mean, I don't think I've ever met anyone that's gotten to do that before.
Isn't that weird? It tripped me out. I was like, I didn't even know this was possible. Yeah, I mean, rainbows, like they literally are art. Like, aren't they maybe reflecting off the firmament, the dome? Like that's maybe what's creating that shape, you know? But as far as Antarctica goes, so I think it was Admiral Byrd, right? Okay, so first of all, let's back up.
Okay.
So Admiral Byrd, before World War II, I think it was. Actually, I'm not going to try to like think I know this. But he went on a big expedition with a huge military presence. Like they had like ships, you know, whatever, like thousands of people. And they went on this. Oh, first it was the North Pole he went to. Sorry. And what did he say he claimed to have found? Something like Middle Earth or something. This is like real. This is documented. Like Admiral Byrd, he was very highly decorated. He allegedly flew to the North Pole region in the late 1940s. And when he came back, he said he found the entrance to inner Earth. Then he goes to Antarctica for Operation High Jump in 1947. Okay. And I think they called it that because they had to jump over the ice wall, right, to get up.
Oh, yeah, that would make sense.
And then after that, they all pulled out of Antarctica and they started. Oh, and then I think they did the treaties were signed, right? Between all the nations, right? That no one could go there. And then they started Operation Fishbowl. Oh. Which is where they took, and you could see videos of this, nuclear bombs, they started shooting it straight up at the sky. Oh. So what people speculate, and what seems to be the case, is I think maybe they found the edge of the dome, and then they came back and they wanted to test to see how high it was. Yeah. So if you look at those videos of the nuclear bombs going up, they look like they're hitting something. So like if you look at a bomb going off, it creates a massive fireball, right? And most of it goes up and then it kind of expands out. Well, in this instance, the Operation Fishbowl, which interesting name, right? They're shooting it up and you could see it hitting something. Everything goes out. Huh. There's nothing that goes up.
So I'm envisioning like a glass bowl and like going to the edge of that bowl, seeing how high.
I don't think they did it on the edge. Okay. They did it more
towards this.
I guess to see where they shot them off of. I don't know.
Interesting.
But it wasn't in Antarctica.
I mean, you would be able to kind of see like how high something goes though.
Like that's what they were trying to do. Yeah. And you could see it hitting something. It's weird.
That is weird.
And then what's even more interesting is Operation Fishbowl was underneath Operation Dominic. And Dominic means of the Lord. So Fishbowl of the Lord was this operation.
Interesting. So interesting.
So, I know. And then now we can't go to Antarctica, right? Because of the penguins or something.
Oh, because of something.
But I think there's a lot of weird stuff that goes on down there. And they're obviously hiding something. And
Antarctica will have to be another
oh my gosh,
topic we like go into because that is just.
But it would make sense. Like if Antarctica is the ice ring that holds all the oceans together. So again, water's not spilling over an edge of Earth. You're not going to fall off, right? This makes perfect sense.
Right.
And then if you were to get, you're in Antarctica on the ice ring and you kept going, I don't know how far, like, would you eventually find the edge of the dome? I mean, look at all the movies about this topic.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, who knows? Because I've heard stories that past Antarctica,
that there's more
land that there's.
I've heard too. Yeah. So I don't know.
Or the Garden of Eden is there, or, like I've heard these things, but who really knows?
Well, there was another, somebody that went there. Was it Admiral Byrd? It might have been him again or somebody.
Okay.
But not just like some rando. Like it was like a legit like military personnel where it went down there explorer, and they claimed that they met like another like
civilization.
Really? But they weren't human. I was like, I don't know about that. But
I mean, that kind of tracks.
Why would you say that though? What was that?
I said that tracks if you read the Bible, you read Enoch. Like
I know. We should do a whole episode on Enoch.
Yeah,
that would be really fun. Because that brings a lot of the Bible to life and makes a lot of it make sense.
Yeah, totally.
Well, and speaking of the Bible again, Job, he told the sun to stop moving. Remember?
Oh, yes.
Not the earth.
Or
was it Job?
I think it was Joshua.
Oh,
the other J.
Okay, whatever.
Let me double check. Hold on, because I think I made notes. Yes, it was Joshua. Yeah.
Okay,
he tells us like the sun to stand still.
Yes.
So if we're orbiting the sun and we're spinning, we would have to stop orbiting. We'd have to stop spinning.
So many things.
Like everything would have to stop.
Imagine the chaos, like the
Right.
cosmic chaos of stopping that versus,
just the sun
it's
doesn't
just
move.
the sun rotating.
Right.
And therefore, you know,
or my
tell the sun to
favorite
stop.
one, have you heard of this one? So Hezekiah tells God is basically like, I can make the sun go forward for you, or I can make it go back 10 steps. So basically, this is my, like, so let me read it here so I don't get it messed up. So basically, in Isaiah, it says, God told Hezekiah that he would make the shadow of the sundial move backwards 10 steps or forward 10 steps. And Hezekiah was like, well, going forward, that's like what it does anyways. So make it go back 10 steps. And so it says the shadow, which normally moves forward as the sun travels across the sky, was made to go backwards, indicating a reversal of time. Isn't that
Interesting.
crazy?
That
so
is
again,
crazy.
like it would make more sense if the sun is what was actually moving. But again, I think that goes back to like intentionality. God created earth. God created us with a purpose, with intention. We were desired. It wasn't a flawed design. Like we were wanted. Everything was intentional. So when you look at it like that, of like, okay, I'm going to create the earth and I'm going to put the stars and the moon and the sun, and they're going to actually circle above you. There's so much more like meaning to that. Like you feel so much more value because you're like, wow, like God did this for us versus like, oh, we literally just came from a single cell organism and evolved into a monkey. And then we became humans from monkeys. Like, I don't know.
Oh,
it's just
100%. And I think that's why, to me, it's like such an obvious deception of the devil, because it's taking away a creator, right? I mean, a creation has to have a creator.
Right.
So if you're saying this wasn't created, there's no creator.
Right.
And so you have to create a storyline and a model that would make it make sense that we could just evolve. If we are on a flat plane and there is a dome above us, you have to admit someone made it.
Right.
So it makes perfect sense to me why because a lot of times people will be like, oh, well, why would they lie about it? It's like, well, that's why.
That's why.
Yeah.
To disprove what, like, literally the word of God says. So.
Well, yeah. And then they could start bringing in, like, alien deceptions and all that kind of stuff, too, you know.
Yeah.
Which I believe aliens are real, but they're demonic beings.
Yes.
You know.
Same.
But,
nope, I completely agree.
Yeah.
But it's, like, so... Like, just kind of circling back to Hezekiah for a second. Speaking of sundials, have you looked into that? Like, sundials should
I know what they are, but
they should not work. But they've, like, been used for, like, ever to tell time. You know what I mean?
So they shouldn't work on a spinning globe model?
Right.
Interesting.
I mean,
didn't know that.
How could they? Like, the sun is what's moving, so it's causing the shadow to, like, move.
Right.
Versus, like, if we're spinning, like, I don't know. Like, I just...
Yeah.
There's more science behind it.
Sure, no, I
like,
believe it.
I just think it's so interesting.
Oh, yeah. Here's another fun one. So I had to write a bunch of notes down because there's so many things. But have you heard of the Bedford Levels experiment? So it was done in the 1800s.
Okay.
And this man, what he did was there's a Bedford, it's called the Bedford Canal. I think it was in England.
Okay.
And it's a 6-mile perfectly straight water canal.
Okay.
And he took a camera, a telescope.
Okay.
And he put it 8 inches above the water.
Okay.
And then he had his friend in a rowboat with a flag on the back of it, row all the way down the 6 miles. And he could see him the whole time. So according to the curvature of the earth, he would have been well below the curve. So it's just another experiment that's disproving. And it's disproving that we're not in a curved earth. Oh yeah, it said the flag would have been 16 feet below the horizon.
Okay.
If it was curved.
Interesting.
It's, we're using the calculations to give us.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then also, we're talking about like NASA's, photos and stuff and how it's all photoshopped. And interestingly enough, NASA came out the same year MK Ultra did.
Oh.
So people do speculate, like if you watch the panel of the men that came back from the moon, supposedly, how they look seems so like... Yeah, like they just seem like almost zombied out. And then during that interview, I think it was Neil Armstrong, and he's like, oh, we're going to put up a slide of the photos and footage from it so we can recall our memory, which is like weird.
That is.
So as soon as the slide pops up and they start showing images, it's like they perk up and he's like more animated and talking about the experience. It was almost like like an MK Ultra victim where like they have triggers, you know, that's like, oh, and they like turn that part of their brain on, and that kind of seems like what happened.
Yeah.
But I just thought that was weird.
That is
that like that
nothing's coincidental though.
No.
So I feel like
nothing is coincidental. So remember in school we had to learn about like all the layers of the earth and of the core and everything.
Yeah.
Well, do you know how deep man has ever drilled down?
I don't know how deep.
8 miles.
Oh,
that's it.
That's it?
It's as far as we've gotten.
No, interesting. Okay.
But yet we somehow know the center of the earth.
And it's interesting.
How do we know that?
They always say it gets hotter the deeper you go.
Well, they say the drill that they used for this 8-mile deep hole, it got too hot, which is why it didn't work anymore.
But that makes sense because it's literally spinning.
Well, that too, but
it's
I think
friction.
I think there is some, you know, like lava and stuff comes out of the earth. I mean, that's not.
But if you think about like, okay, animals, for example, like if it's hot outside, they'll dig down to where it's cooler. Like the deeper they go into the ground.
Yeah, I mean, if the
cooler.
earth, if the core of the earth was really hot,
what about oceans?
Like, why is it? I know the bottom of the ocean's freezing. I don't know, but I just think it's funny that like they claim to like know exactly what the earth is, like down to its core, and we've only been 8 miles down.
Yeah, and I mean, like I remember like going to the beach as a kid, and like even my girls will like dig these massive deep holes. Like they'll dig as deep as they can, and the farther down they go, the colder the sand gets.
Right.
So it's just
but I'm wondering if it gets cold and then hot.
I mean, I think lava like comes up.
Yeah.
But I feel like that's its own thing. It's not necessarily
everywhere.
Because
well, I mean,
who knows?
I don't know.
Again, I've never dug 8 miles.
We need to dig into this a little more.
Literally.
No, never dug 8 miles. Not going to try. But I just think that's so funny. I'm like, okay, again, like they're just, you know, it's theory. They're just making things up. I mean, how do you know what's way out in space? Like they act like they know so much.
Right. Well, can they even get through the firmament?
No. And even Bill Nye the Science Guy says we lived in an enclosed system. You can't leave the Earth. It's like,
exactly.
Okay.
Well, or when NASA was like, oh, for the first time, we're going to get a man to the moon.
Yeah, recently. You're like, wait, didn't we do that like decades ago?
Yeah, exactly.
Supposedly.
But, have you heard of sky ice? Have you heard of that?
Oh, is that like
those firmament they think might be made of?
Yeah, is it like the blue, that really pretty blue stone? I have heard of that. Like supposedly it's fallen off the firmament. Could
but
be.
That would explain why the sky's blue.
That could be. Some people say it's because water's above.
That could be too.
Or it could be the firmament could be like a blue glass.
But
I don't know.
I've heard weird stories like every year like fish just fall from the sky. You know?
Yeah, you were saying that too before. It's so crazy.
I'm like, we should go to one of those fish falling festivals. They literally.
What do they say? Like, what's the explanation?
They can't explain it. They don't know. Like maybe a hurricane, like a tornado, like sucked them up.
That
and
would,
like,
but
still,
it's
like
that's
every
weird.
year, like they have festivals set around. Yeah, this certain time of the year, fish fall from the sky.
They just migrate out of the sky every year.
I don't know, but I remember watching like
where do they fall into water? Or they fall on the land?
They just fall on the land and they're just like flopping around everywhere. There's like videos of it. You can like look it up. It's crazy. And this was like before like I would say AI was like super.
All right, so it's like probably real.
Probably
real. If there's enough people that can say they've been there, done that, then it's real. Yeah,
but,
I know.
I remember seeing like the Muppets, like Gonzo was like flying through space, and there were fish up there.
Yeah, and then they depict this all the time in like movies and shows that there's water above. So I do believe there's water above. So I don't know. Could be that's why the sky's blue, or it could be that you were saying like sky ice, like the weird rocks they find.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's like
a lot
really
about
pretty.
It,
it's like have you seen pictures of them?
I have. Yeah.
Yeah, they're really pretty.
So.
But yeah, it just looks like something was like cut. Fallen off, out of the sky. So yeah, that could be the firmament. That could be how God made it. Who knows?
Who knows? Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, did you ever see? It was a Red Bull thing. This was a few years ago. It wasn't that long ago. And this guy went to do this big jump off of a Red Bull rocket thingamabobber or whatever.
Is this with like real people or is this?
It's a real dude.
Okay.
And he's up there, and they have a GoPro camera on his whatever he's on. I don't know if it was a weather balloon kind of thing, or they got him really high up.
Okay.
And below in the photo, you'll see like this, like the curvature of the earth. I mean, it's like curved like this. It's like very rounded in the photo. And people were like, oh yeah, see, it's the curve. Well, if you look at it, he was above New Mexico and he jumped. The entire curve is New Mexico. So like, you're telling me New Mexico is taking over the whole top half of the earth? Like, no, it was a fisheye lens.
Yeah.
Like, give me a break.
Try. Yeah.
Also, amateur people, like people that send up things super high up into the atmosphere. I think like, I have to look up how high they send them. Really high up. Every video, it's flat as a pancake.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's just flat, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So, I don't know. It's hard for me to believe
I know.
NASA when, like, people are actually doing real experiments and proving that it's flat.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Or, like, what do they say, like, happens to you when you go up into space? If you were to just go into outer space without any protection on, like, isn't it that you would, like, wouldn't it, like, suck you in? Or
Well, you're in a vacuum, so couldn't be good. But I don't know. You'd be screwed.
Yeah, because, I mean...
And, like, how does the atmosphere not get sucked by the vacuum?
I know. I don't...
The atmosphere is just air and the vacuum of space not sucking it off? Like,
I guess.
sorry.
It's just weird. I have no idea.
But, like, for real. Like, think about that.
Yeah.
Like, what keeps that from happening? Gravity.
Definitely. Always gravity.
Yeah, always.
Well, I thought this was super interesting. I got this, and we'll link him to give him credit. Alex for Truth.
I love his
super
Instagram.
interesting stuff on there.
So good.
But I thought it was interesting saying he was talking about how NASA predicts eclipses using like advanced mathematical equations for like the heliocentric model.
Mm-hmm.
And he was saying like in reality, NASA is predicting eclipses using, I don't know, I think it's called a Satos. I think that's how you say it.
Okay.
Satos cycle.
Okay.
And basically what it is, he said it's like an ancient Babylonian method that astronomers have used for thousands of years.
Sense to me.
Yeah. And he said it's based on flat earth model. And so he said basically what it is, this cycle is 18 years, 11 days, and 8 hours. So for example, like the solar eclipse on April 8th of 2024, the next one would be April 19th of 2042. And he was like, it's not really predicting it. He's like, if I know it's going to be 12.
It's on a cycle.
Yeah, it's on a cycle. He's
Well,
like,
I kind of always thought that's how they did it.
Yeah, so
But
no,
they
NASA
claim they
basically
don't?
says, no, NASA says it's based on mathematical equation that they use. Isn't
I
that
feel like you can make
interesting?
a mathematical equation for anything.
Mm-hmm.
You really can. It
Yeah.
doesn't prove anything.
Yeah, so
Interesting, though. I always assumed they just knew because of it was, cyclical. Like,
No, NASA has a equation for everything.
Does it land us at 666, 666?
Oh, you know what? I don't know. Probably. But I mean, obviously, the equation they're really using is based on like an ancient,
Babylonian
because they watched
way
the
of
skies back then.
Oh,
you
there's
know?
documentation of the stars for thousands of years. Yeah.
Mhm.
And it's always been the same.
I know.
So if we're hurtling through space and we're spinning around and doing all sorts of crazy acrobatics, like
I
things would
know.
change all the time.
Constantly. We would never have
Yeah.
our same set of constellations in the spring, summer, fall, and
Mhm.
winter. Again, like they tell the seasons. So I thought that was fascinating.
That is really fascinating.
No. I did hear that they could actually like rewind, if you want to call it that, the stars to see like the planets coming together for actually when Jesus was born that made like the superstar over Bethlehem.
That's so cool.
Yeah, so I thought that was really cool.
Okay, do you think stars are angels?
I think so. I mean, that's
The
what the Bible
Bible
says.
they are.
Yeah.
I'm like,
But
and it also says they sing.
Yeah, I've heard that the planets could also be, and this might be like too weird for some people, but I'm just going to throw it out there. That they could also be like part of like Enoch, going back to Enoch, part of the fallen angels.
The fallen angels are the stars? Like the bad angels?
No, not the stars, the planets.
Oh, well,
Some
it's
of the
weird that the
planets.
planets are named after gods, which are all linked to Satan. Jupiter, Mars,
Yep.
Venus, and all the NASA missions.
Oh, yeah.
All after gods.
Oh, yeah.
It's all so satanic.
It is. It really is. Once you start seeing it, it's so hard to unsee it, and you start just noticing the patterns, like everywhere.
Yeah. It's just look at it with a critical eye and just like being like, when I first learned about this, I wasn't like offended. I wasn't like weirded out. I thought, oh my gosh, maybe this could be. If there's real people today, in the 21st century that believe this, I feel like there's got to be a reason. Let me see why they believe it, And again, like at the end of the day, I'm going to believe the word of God. I'm going to believe like real science.
Right.
And I'm also going to trust my senses.
Right.
And then I'm not going to put my faith in government organizations, especially ones that were started by Jesuit priests, Freemasons, and Nazis.
Yes.
Like, hello.
Exactly.
Right. So, and as we're indoctrinated. I mean, from day one, we're told this. There's globes in like every classroom. They push it on like Universal Studios, like at the beginning of all their movies. It's the globe. I mean, just all the space movies, like pushing it so hard, Yeah. I'm like, they were claiming the world was a spinning ball for way before NASA came out,
Right.
before there was images. And like, as far as
Speaking of images, the blue marble, I think they said that only the first, like, one or two, like, first or second pictures were actually images and the rest were all, like, CGI.
Well, they
Right?
only claim like
Or something like
yeah.
that.
Well, from
Yeah.
what I understood is they only claim that the blue marble is a photo and everything else is images,
Oh, so
which is
just
like
that is the photo.
I think so.
Okay.
But squash this right now, guys. Okay, turn one of your satellites around,
Mm-hmm.
have it be in space, show the globe, zoom in on a certain spot in real time,
Mm-hmm.
have people be doing a certain thing. I don't know, break out in a song and dance. Just prove to the world that we're on a globe.
Right.
That would be so easy,
that's
but
the
they won't do it because they can't do it.
Satellites aren't outside of the firmament
No,
either.
there are weather balloons inside the firmament.
Yeah.
There are things up there, but it's not satellites all around the Earth.
It's not outside of the Earth's
No.
atmosphere or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, no. But I was like, that's so, like just that'd be such an easy way to just shut everyone up and be like, yeah, this is real.
Yeah.
But they won't do it because they can't. Like, that's the only reason why. I can't see another reason why they wouldn't do that.
Right.
So, and all the, is it like, so many government agencies have the flat Earth as their logo.
Mm-hmm.
Everywhere.
It's everywhere.
It's everywhere. The United Nations.
Mm-hmm.
It's a flat Earth map.
Yeah, I think pretty much almost every single like U.S. seal is like of a flat Earth, like the Navy.
Yeah. Well,
even
maybe.
I want to say like I saw like all the pictures. Maybe not every one of them, but
a lot of them. No,
are.
a lot of them have it. It's like, why would you have the flat Earth map as your logo?
Mm-hmm.
And then as far as logos go, I mean, NASA, like it looks like if you look at the logo, there's a red forked tongue going through it, like a snake.
Gross.
Yeah. So it's
I never really looked that close.
Again, it's like right there. But yeah, next time you look at it, it's, it says NASA and then it has like in the blue circle and then it has the red forked tongue that comes through it.
Okay.
And again, it's just like they always show their symbols and their images. And it's like, it's like the serpent's tongue.
Ew.
NASA also comes from the Latin word, I think is nasha, which means to beguile, to deceive, to greatly deceive. So.
Well, that would tie back to the Bible with the snake beguiling Eve.
And that, I know. They always have to leave their mark on everything. Like they don't do things. Like it's kind of always hidden in plain sight. And once you have the eyes to see and the ears to hear, it's just like it just all makes sense. And I feel like when you hear the truth, it like it resonates with you. And for me, this is a topic for me that like that's what it did. I was like, it resonated. I even felt closer to the Lord.
Yes.
I felt more loved. Felt safer knowing that I'm not, tiny little person on a tiny little ball flying through an infinite space.
Right.
Like it's very like comforting.
Right. No, I agree. Like once I kind of understood that, the Bible came alive and made so much more sense in ways that like it never did before. I would read things and be like, that's weird. I don't understand that. Why would they say that? But if you take it literally, which sometimes I think you can do that with the Bible, sometimes like, yes, it's symbolically.
Well, it's usually, but it usually tells you it's being symbolic. But like it'll tell you.
Right. But it's like you're reading it just like literal. Like you're like, wow, this makes sense. This lines up with what the Bible says. Like I've actually talked to people who have said like, I didn't believe in God, but like once I found flat Earth, I became a believer.
So many people. Atheists.
It proved it.
Yeah. Atheists come to the Lord. I was just listening to a guy that goes around. This is the video I was watching from him was like 9 years ago, but he was going around doing speaking engagements on flat Earth. Very good. Very smart. But he said he was an atheist before.
Wow. Yeah.
Like, and it brought him to the Lord. People,
it brings
a lot of people.
And then they
to
like
realize,
meet Christians who don't believe it, and they're just like, "What?" Like,
I know. I'm like, it's like literally the cosmology of your Bible is the Hebrew cosmology, which is the flat Earth model.
Yeah,
yeah. So,
yeah, it is just it's crazy, but I think too, like, it's almost kind of a pride thing where it's like, this is what I've taught. I almost feel like I can't admit that like I've been believing something that was wrong.
It's hard for people.
But I'm also, that's not my personality. I'm kind of just like, I will admit I'm wrong and I'll move on and I'll change.
Oh yeah. If I suspect you're lying to me,
right,
I won't, I have to know. And then I dig into it and I'll find out, hopefully.
Yeah. And then I just am like, okay, well, I'm just going to pivot. And
I mean, how could you be prideful about something that you were told since you were born?
Right.
It's not your fault.
It's not your fault. No.
Yeah.
But I think it's hard for people to like admit like maybe
it's just indoctrination's so heavy. It's so heavy.
Right.
It's like people get a knee-jerk reaction to it. It's like, whoa. It's like almost spiritual. Like it's just like people can't
Can't
They get
handle it.
offended. They get
Right.
upset. Yeah, it's like they have a hard time handling the fact that people even believe this,
Mm-hmm.
you know?
Yeah.
So I feel like, to me, that's like a spiritual stronghold on people, too.
Oh, I
because
totally
it's
is,
really
yeah.
trying to, really, like we keep saying, but it's trying to hide,
Mhm.
you know, the origin of life in earth. And it all came from a creator
Right.
and who loves us.
Right.
And
We have significance.
Mhm.
We have value.
and we're the center. It's a geocentric model where
Mhm.
earth is the center and everything rotates around us.
Right.
Where you put the sun in the center. It sounds like sun god worship too. You could tie it all back into that kind of stuff
Yeah,
too.
definitely.
But yeah, we're the center. We're everything. This is it. This is
Mhm.
everything.
Well, wasn't it Shakespeare? Wasn't he the one that said that like the earth is the stage and everyone is watching?
Probably. Sounds like
something
a
like that.
Shakespearean thing to say. But yeah, it's like a stage. Yeah, sure.
Mhm.
Uh-huh. Yeah, I mean, we're
Again, going back to the Bible, it's like when God created the earth and Adam and Eve, it said all of heaven, like the sons rejoiced, like the angels, the son of God,
Mhm.
the sons of God rejoiced.
Yeah.
So it's like, if you think about it like that, like it really is like they were looking down.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
it makes sense.
And yeah, it makes a lot of sense.
Again,
every
just the
every way that
Bible
the word
coming
word
alive.
of God describes
Uh-huh.
the earth, it's never a spinning ball.
Mm-mm.
Ever.
No.
Not once.
No.
So
I don't know.
I don't know. I don't really know. I'm not going to argue with God. I mean, he's the one that made it. So, just because we live in a society that believes one thing doesn't negate, what the Bible says.
Mhm.
Yeah. And like everything falls apart if we're on a flat surface in an
Right.
enclosed system.
Yeah.
All their lives, every life falls apart. Like it's like the
Mhm.
biggest part of their deception is making us still believe this,
Right.
so that they could push everything else on us, like
Yeah.
evolution and everything. So,
Oh, yeah. Well, and it's interesting too because it's like they've destroyed so many things that also prove that like the earth is not moving. It's not spinning. Like, did you ever hear about the Georgia? I think they were called the Georgia Guidestones.
yes.
And you could always look through the hole at any time of the year, any time, whenever, and always see Polaris.
Oh, is that what it does?
Yeah.
Oh,
So
that's
you
really
could
cool.
look through it at any time. And also like some of the clocks, like they've literally they're built on like basically
Mhm.
like a flat earth
Mm-hmm.
like model,
Yeah.
and they've covered it up. They've put
Mhm.
a earth, like a round earth
Mhm.
on top of it.
They've modified it since.
Mhm.
Yep, I know.
Yeah, but that clock's been working with perfect precision
Mhm. For like
for
I think
like hundreds of years.
I
or
think
something.
thousands. Some of
Is
them are
it?
like super old.
Yeah.
There was one in particular. I think I know what you're referring to. I
Mhm.
can't remember which country it's in, but it's super ornate. It's on the
Mhm.
outside of a building.
Yes,
and
yep.
it's like, I mean, intricate. It's got, I think, constellations on it.
Mhm.
It shows the eclipses. It's
Yep.
beautiful. Well, just recently they went and modified it
Yeah,
to make it fit the globe Earth.
yeah. They put a a sphere
Mhm.
Earth
Yeah.
on it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Mhm.
they're just trying to hide the truth.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you look at like old like drawings and stuff from all different cultures around the world. Like they show a flat Earth with a dome and the stars inside. In Egypt, like so many different places.
Yeah.
That's how they always drew Earth. And I feel like they would know.
Mhm.
Like people weren't just dumb
Right.
or like superstitious or like
No.
fanciful. Like
I feel like people like that were doing the drawings and stuff. I feel like they had way more knowledge.
way
way
more
more
just look at the
technology.
look at the buildings they used to
Yeah.
build. I mean,
they want us believing that like they were just kind of Neanderthals back then.
cavemen.
They were just so uncivilized. But it's like, yeah, we cannot recreate any of the things
No.
that they
No,
have
they were way advanced.
created.
I think we have definitely gone down.
Oh, we have.
For sure.
Yeah.
So, yeah. And all by design,
Yeah. Even
You know?
our buildings.
Oh,
you know.
yeah. I mean, we could get into, I'm excited to talk about like resets and things
Mhm.
like that because I feel like
Yeah.
our history is very much so a lie. And a lot of the buildings have been destroyed, but not all of them.
Right.
And they're proof of something greater was
Yeah.
before us.
Like our Capitol buildings.
I know when there was like probably just a few hundred people living here, they
Mhm.
built these massive stone.
Made of marble. Yeah. They all look the same.
And they're
always founded.
always founded by Freemasons,
Mhm.
Freemasonry,
Mhm.
free buildings that were
Founded.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I know. Interesting choice of words that they like to throw out there.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, people are living in like wooden shacks and then they're building these massive marble stone structures, like extremely intricate, beautiful.
Mhm.
For what? To go in
Yeah.
and do some office work?
Yeah. I don't know.
Like, I don't know, like you to have a meeting.
I saw that one of them was built with like an elk antler or something, and I was just like, yeah, sure.
They said they built it out of an elk.
no,
antler?
using an elk
Oh
antler.
my gosh.
Uh-huh.
Well, there's things that look like they were cut with lasers, like
Mhm.
laser precision cut, massive pieces of stone.
Yeah.
It's like they did not use a hammer and chisel.
Right.
And like people, you're telling me that there was that many people with like that incredible amount of masonry talent, like just artists. Like everyone was like an artist, a masonry, genius, and they got all together and they built these things in a year and a half. That's what they tell you, like super short timelines.
Yeah, at my house.
All the while you have winters, you have to have it.
Right.
No.
Yeah.
People. That was not happening.
No, because like even now you build a house in a year and a half, and it's like nothing.
Not even close.
It's literally
I know,
like
and supposedly we have way more
No.
technology and machinery. So no. I can't wait to get into that topic. That's
we're
a
getting
good
derailed, but yeah, it's gonna be good.
But it's just like because it all ties together because it's all lies from the same people.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, it's like, well, like you have to just, you rely on what the Word of God says and what the Bible says. Like, and that's where that's got to be your foundation, because you're not going to always have answers. You're not going to always know, like, oh, is this true or is this a lie? But I always just go back to the Bible of like, this is my plumb line of like, well, this is what it says, so I'm going to believe that. Well, even if it doesn't make sense. Even if it's outside of
But then, like, when this topic, it makes more sense because you can actually, like,
this does
prove
make sense. Yes.
that,
So
that this is,
and that's the thing. The more you dig, the more the Bible makes sense. And so, it's been so
exposing the lie, like, just reveals the truth.
Yeah.
And I think when it comes to the shape and structure of our earth, that's just like, this is our home. Like, this is where we live. And like, it matters. I know some people feel like, oh, what does it matter? Like what shape the earth is. I'm like, it's everything. Like, it's huge. Are you kidding me? Like, I could not like let it go when I first started looking into it. Like, I had to know. And again, like, don't know exactly what we're living on, but at least I know we're not, living on some.
It changes everything because it goes from like the Bible not making sense to the Bible like making sense. You know what I mean? So I think it changes everything.
It does.
Yeah.
Well, this was a really fun topic. I was so excited to talk about it because it's one of my favorites, like I said in the beginning, and I hope people don't think we're nuts. Well, actually, I don't care. You can totally think we're nuts.
I know. I don't care.
Just research it. Like, it's super fun to dig into. I will say I feel like the internet's a little more scrubbed than it used to be because when I was looking into this years ago, there was a lot more YouTube videos and things, and like some of it's gone. Like some of the stuff I saved in my playlist, it's gone, and that could be because it was removed maybe by the YouTuber. But
screenshotting.
I think a lot of it, screenshot things forever so they don't get deleted.
I've heard that like with the Sky Eyes, they were saying that like they saved it, screenshot it on their computer, laptops, and like it was gone. Creepy, right?
That's weird. Oh, also, the moon rock that they were giving out to a bunch of countries turned out to be petrified wood when it was hilarious. And apparently they were finding moon rock on Earth before we went to the moon. So you're telling me you walked around and you picked up a rock and said like, oh, made on the moon. Cool. Like, how would you know it was moon rock if you've never been to the moon? It's just so funny. Like, it just all falls apart.
Just one thing after another.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like you could take there's so many, like, what is that, like, giant, what's the thing that, like, they have? It's like oh my gosh, there's a name for it, but it's, like, hangs down, it's like a chain and a ball, and it's supposed to be showing the spin of the earth or something.
I don't know what it's called, but I know what
you're talking about.
Yeah.
Well, I heard that also was fake. Like, it's not really, they have it moving on its own.
Oh.
Which makes sense.
Yeah.
But anywho, there's just, like, there's always discrepancies with all of it. And
I know. Well, even just, like, kids shows, they tell you the truth. Like, I feel like we said movies. Like, they
all the time.
Yeah. Like things going up and hitting
it's
the
like
firmament.
seriously, we're in the Truman Show.
The Truman Show, yeah.
For real.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we just need to like break out of the matrix, people. Just expand your mind. And it's empowering. Like, you know what? Like, we're all kind of like free roaming slaves, if you will. We're all controlled. And we have borders. Like the countries, it's like an open, no bars, but it's like borders, right? Like you can't just freely wander the world. You have to get permission to get in and out of places, and like we are controlled. And it's really easy to control people when we don't realize our significance and our own power,
right?
And there's no creator, we're just all accidents. We'll just what is it, GMO, like genetically modify your food and stuff. Like everything's accidents, so we're gonna try to make it all better, and like but like once you learn this and you feel like, okay, well, no, everything was made a perfect design. There's always going to be enough water. There's always going to be enough air. There's always going to be enough food. Like food shortages are a lie. And it's all controlled.
Gasoline, petroleum.
That too.
There's more than enough. I've heard like that is like the number 2 substance on like the amount. Like so water.
There's so much.
Yeah.
fuel.
The amount. So water's first and then petroleum.
Interesting.
So it's not like we'll ever run out of it. It's not really made of fossil fuel.
Yeah, they want to create that feeling of scarcity, right? Yeah. And if this planet fails, then we're just going to go fly and inhabit another one. Isn't that like the plot line of so many movies?
Mars.
Oh my gosh, like Mars. Yeah, they're trying to figure out how to do like, it's like there's no Mars, you guys.
There is no Mars.
Well, there might be like a ball. I don't know what
Where
the heck
are they
it
going
is.
to take these people is the real question. Like,
I don't know.
Yeah.
It's like WALL-E, the movie WALL-E, where they're all living in like a giant like space shuttle thing. Spaceship.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's weird. But like they just push it so hard, you know? And it's like, okay, but why? Is it just that entertaining? Is space that entertaining? I don't know. Or is it, I just, I don't know. It just more solidifies it into our mind that like this is it, you know?
Yeah.
More imagery they show us and flash before our eyes, the more we're going to believe it. So,
but then when you start looking at things like the moon, like when you look at this, you know, like in the night sky, you can see all the stars. But then they have images of the moon and there's like no stars.
Oh, like in space, there's no stars.
Yeah. And my favorite reply is like, oh, well, that's because that's the moon's face during the sun. Like that's the sun side of the moon. Yet it's like pitch black everywhere else.
That's weird.
Yeah.
That's dumb.
Oh, it's because the sun's shining on that side of the moon. You know, and during the day.
Oh, yeah, that's the thing, because people will, like you said, people will ask questions all the time, like, huh? And then they just give some like weird random answer or gravity or calculation. Oh, but we know.
Okay.
This is, they try to explain everything away.
Yeah.
But they slip up all the time. I feel like they always say things that they shouldn't.
But
like,
nobody catches it. Like, I mean,
it's because we're so indoctrinated. They can't even catch it.
They don't. Yeah.
They don't even take it seriously. I know. That's just like how heavily indoctrinated we are as, you know, a people. So, yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's fun. It's probably my favorite one to research.
This has been so fun. I mean, and I think it's just kind of the natural progression of things to be like, yeah, like this is the next thing you go to when the moon landing's fake. Like,
oh, for sure.
Fake, you know, the Earth is round and we're spinning and we're not flying off of it. But I don't know. Yeah, literally nothing is flying off of it. So
because of gravity,
Hallie. I know, but we can fly. Birds can fly in the air. Butterflies can fly. Fish can leap out of water. Like.
An amazing force.
I know. Selective.
Magical force.
It's like selective hearing. Selective gravitational pull.
Yes, that's what it is.
Gravity's got to be a woman.
She's very selective. Must be. Oh, gosh. Okay, well, this has been fun. I always love sitting in here and chatting with you.
Same.
And, I hope people glean some good information out of it.
Do some digging of their own.
Yes, and do some digging of your own.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Until next time.